students, good morning. Today we are going to learn the lesson Our Earth 9th class AP State Board, and already we uploaded one video and you watched the video, and in this video we are going to learn some important parts in this lesson Our Earth. See, today's lesson we are going to learn the topic internal structure of our earth. Internal structure of our earth. So we know what is the meaning of internal structure. It means a man has been trying from centuries onwards to know about what are the materials are located in the internal part of the earth. But man did not success in revealing all the facts, all the materials and all the resources which are available in the internal part of the earth by directly. And man reached directly when we see the surface of the earth. Man reached from surface of the earth up to a distance of 3 kilometers directly, and by sending through pipes he successfully reached a distance of 6.5 kilometers through by pipes. Though he reached 6.5 kilometers, our earth comprising thousands of kilometers. That's why he did not get any possibility sources to know about the exact internal structure and exact information about the internal part of the earth. And then afterwards man sent some rays, and we know very well alpha rays, beta rays, gamma rays, and likewise all these rays man wanted to reach the earth's central part through these rays, and by reflection of the races and time taken by the races, man successfully and approximately know what are the materials and how many parts are located in the internal part of the earth. And we have to see, and in this internal structure of the earth we have to see, man succeeded in learning about the internal part of the earth, and according to his trial man learned the earth internal part comprised three important layers are identified, and among those one is to be called the outer part. We name it as crust, and the second one is to be called as mantle, and whereas the third one is to be called core. And whereas the core comprised two parts are there, you are observing. One is A, outer part of the core, and one is B, inner part of the core. And now we have to see, what about core? The core is the most outside part of the earth which we are live on. It means now we are living on the surface of the crust. And what is crust here? Crust comprised the hard rocks and materials, stones, and it is existing maximum solid in form. And it is comprising a depth of 30 up to 100 kilometers. It means the depth of the density of the crust layer is not constant. It is some areas it is 30, and it is ranging up to 100 kilometers, and it is comprising completely some kinds of rocks, and it is existing maximum kinds of various rocks. And number 2 we have to see mantle, and like the crust, mantle is not the solid layers, and it is partially solid and partially liquid. It means it is maximum comprising silicates, maximum part of the mantle comprising silicates, and the mantle depth is a range of 100 kilometers up to 2900 kilometers. and it is maximum filled with silicates. And whereas we go to the core, and core starts from 2000, core starts from 2900 to 6000, 3676 kilometers. And yes, students, the third layer core comprised from 2900 to 6376 kilometers, and it has two parts. What I told you, the outer core, from 2900 kilometers to 5100 kilometers, whereas the inner core comprised from 5100 kilometers to 6376 kilometers. If we see, we told you already, the crust comprised hard rocks, and whereas mantle comprised silicates, and whereas the third core comprised nickel, and whereas inner core comprised the substantious material like gold. And all these particles are liquid in form, because of heavy heat in the internal part of the earth. Maximum materials in the interior part of the earth are turned into the liquid. That's why from this liquid, sometimes we know in the lower classes, sometimes that liquid rock molten material is also coming out by this tectonic forces, by the pressure, heavy pressure coming from the inner part of the earth, and it is causing for the occurrence of eruption of volcanoes. That's why volcanoes are also one more external change which we are seeing generally on the surface of the earth. So this is about the internal structure of the earth. And by this internal structure of the earth, what we revealed, so the internal part comprising three layers, and in each layer comprising number of materials. Depend upon the materials, we call them into, example, crust is to be named by the availability of materials as Cl, silicon and aluminum, whereas mantle is to be called as silicon and manganese, and whereas core comprised Nife and nickel and ferrous. It means by the existence of materials also we can divide the three layers in this manner. In this way, internal structure of the earth we have to know. And by this internal materials, what is the main information we have to know is these internal materials which are available in the inner part of the earth are maximum useful to the man. And by these materials we came to know number of inner facts about the temperature, about the water vapor, about the groundwater, and about all the important things which are located in the inner part of our earth. So this is briefly about the internal structure of our earth. And next we have to see, after internal structure of the earth, we are going to learn about the grid system. And in the grid system, already in the first lesson we told you in the first part about grid. Grid means the network of latitudes and longitudes is called grid. It means two longitudes and two latitudes, the part between the latitudes and longitudes is to be called as grid. Okay, students, once you observe the internal structure of the earth picture, you are seeing in the picture the outer part crust is colored with blue, whereas mantle with red, and the outer core with silver, and whereas inner core with gold. So behind these colors There is a scientific reason. When we see from the aeroplanes and from the satellites, we have to see all the water bodies on the earth or appear blue in color. It means this is indication maximum nearly 71% on the earth surface is filled with water. Of course, remaining 29% is uh, located and it is distributed among the 7 continents and number of islands. Whereas the second inner part mantle, why it is red? Because of heat, the solid materials are going to convert into liquid. And in the core, already we told you, it is the last layer and densest layer. Its density already I told you from 2900 to 6376 kilometers, and because of this density it is comprising the compound materials iron and heavy substances like gold. And because of the gold material, and we are showing the inner core with gold in color. But it is wonder sometimes, though we are living on the crust and the total volume of the earth, crust occupies only 1%. Is not a wonder? And we can see the mantle comprising 16%, and whereas the remaining 83% belong to core. It means the core is the densest layer. Come on, thank you.